Chapter 9 Karate Call One. So in this chapter we are going to see what and why do we use a call one. So let me start this chapter. So if you talk about the karate framework does not provide a hooks, and if you talk about the hooks in the cucumber, we have a before suit, we have a before scenario, we have a before feature in the test range as well. So but if you talk about the karate has their own functionality, has their own way to achieve those hooks as well. So in the previous sessions we have talked about a call single. With the help of the call single is equal to a before suit. Now if you talk about a before feature, we have this a call once. So karate provides a call once to achieve a before single. So whenever we are going to talk about a cucumber, we are going to write the scenarios in a Greek language, and we have a different keywords. One keyword is related to a background. So whenever we are writing this background in the feature file, so whatever the steps which you are going to write it inside the background, those will be executed for every scenario which is present in the feature file. So whenever we are going to use a call once, and if you have a one step by using a call once, it means that will be called only once. If you have a 10 scenario, but still if you are using a call once for that particular step, then that step will be executed only once. So here is a syntax. We are going to use a call once as a keyword. Read, and read help us to read the feature files. We have the class path, test, and a call once request.feature file which we are going to invoke it. So this is the official website of a karate. We have this github.com karate labs/karate. So we have one section related to hook. So when we scroll it down, we have this before everything, and this karate.call single is going to act as a before suit. So we have another one related to a feature file. So this call once is going to act before executing anything, and it will be executed only once. For that you need to use the call once in the background. So let's click on this, and here is the section related to a call once in this particular page. So let's do one thing. Let's commit here, and what we are going to do is we are going to create a one feature file. Right click, say new, and we have a karate feature files. We can have it as a comments request dot. We can provide the feature as an extension. Now we can add the name of the feature. We can say test the functionality of here. We can say user comments as well. Okay, so we have added a scenario. Let's commit here inside the get request or feature files, so we can copy these steps to execute or to invoke this comment request. So let's commit here, and we can paste it. So we have added a one feature file which is this comment request or feature file, and inside this we have added a one scenario. So what we are going to do is right now we are using this go rest .co.in to invoke it. So we have a one API which is this go request /public/v2/comments, and this helps us to get the different comments of the user. So instead of having a users, we are going to say we are going to use this comments as well. Now we have a one feature file which is this comments request.feature file. We are going to call this feature file here inside this get request or feature file. So whenever you want to call the feature files, we can call it here as well. You can call it in the scenarios as well, but right now we are going to check the functionality of call once. Then we are going to say background, and we are going to use a call once. We are going to read, or we are going to call the feature files. We are going to use a read. So read is a method provided by the karate, and with the help of this read we can invoke any of the feature files. So let's commit here. So we are saying we are going to invoke it. We need to provide the path of that particular feature file, which is this comments request or feature file. We are saying class path, and inside this particular class path we have another package which is this karate test. Provide it, and inside this we have this comments. We can say a request dot a feature as well. So we have added this particular feature which is this comments request dot feature, and with the help of this read it is going to invoke it. So whenever we are using this particular keyword which is this call once, it means this will be called only once. So this is not going to invoke it two times. So let's do one thing. So right now we have two scenarios, and if we invoke this particular get request or feature file, so this will be called only once because we are using a call once. If we are not using a call once, then this particular line will be invoked two times. So let's do one thing. Let's commit here inside the karate config.js file. We in the previous sessions we have added this call single feature file, so we can use a comment out. Let's comment out. We are not going to invoke it. And when we commit here to the get request.feature file, we are already have this particular step as well. We need to comment out this piece of code because we have already commented this auth info dot access token inside this karate config.js file. So whenever we want to invoke it, we need to provide a get request.feature inside this test. Right click, say run, and it is going to invoke the feature files related to this get request or feature, and it is also going to invoke another file which is this a comments request or feature file, but we need to see how many times it has invoked it. So let's scroll it down. Both the test cases ran successfully. Open this particular feature file. We can have this get request or feature, and we can see we have the background existed in the first scenario as well as in the second scenario. When we click on this, we have this call once, and it is saying the lock released and cached call once. We are also getting the information related to a comments, and we are also getting the all the information with the help which we have invoked it, because this comments request is a feature file which we guys were using it here inside this comments request or feature. So this is having a 3 steps which we able to invoke it with the help of this call once. So now if we commit here, so there is a difference between this background and this background, because when we see this background, it is having a two things. One is a call once, another is a karate dot comments dot request as well, but we don't have here because the functionality of the call once to execute the background only once if you have only once that particular step where you have mentioned the call once. So but and here if you talk about this particular get request or feature, we have mentioned this call once as well. So let's do one thing. Let's add a one step here. We are saying we are going to print a value here. We are having this check the functionality of call once, and now if we go and invoke this, this is going to print two times because we don't have any call once as a keyword in this particular step as well. So these are the test cases getting it invoked. First one got successful, second one it is also invoking it, both passed. Now commit here inside this report. Let's refresh this. When we commit here, we can see we have this, and we are also getting a print check the functionality. It is also printing this value. When we commit here, we able to get this particular information as well, check the functionality of the call once. So in this way we can use the call once to make a feature file before feature. So that's it in this chapter.